You may find yourself working with a lower quality JPEG, and as such, it can have artifacts, particularly when you go to do an upscale. Fortunately, newer versions of Photoshop include some neural filters to help with this. In this case, I've opened up a very low resolution photo of my father plus his mother and father. And it's a pretty tiny resolution image. You could see it's only about 500 by 700 pixels. Now, in order for this to work quite well, we're going to take advantage of a few things. This image was rescued from an old family scan, and we don't have the photo that can be found anymore. So I want to make the most of this so that we could actually make a print. From the filter menu, I'll choose Neural Filters. And looking at this, there's a couple of options to use. First up, we're going to use the Super Zoom technology to start, and I'll choose Enhance Image Details, as well as Remove JPEG Artifacts. And we'll increase a little bit of noise reduction and sharpness, just a small amount. Additionally, and this one's a bit subjective, we could choose the option to enhance face details. Now what we can do is click the magnifying glass here to zoom the image. I'm going to go to a 4x enlargement, and this can take a little bit to process. Once you're all set, you can click the OK button, and it will output to a new document. In this case, you can see that it did the 4x enhancement. Let's put these two documents side by side. I'll choose to arrange them 2 up vertically. On the left, we have the AI, and on the right, we have our original document here at 100%. Let's zoom this to 400%, and we'll see the difference between the AI scaling and the regular zoom level. In this case, it did a pretty good job, and you can see that the AI scaling tried to balance out the features, as well as it really cleaned up the artifacts. Look at a lot of the noise and the extra details here that are in the curtain that are unwanted, as well as some of the blockiness here on things like curved lines. What we're also going to do is one additional pass with the neural filter, since this is an older file. And it finds the faces, and we'll take advantage of an option here called photo restoration. If needed, download. This particular module is designed specifically for working with older images, and we'll use it later to pick up things like scratches and other damage. In this case, feel free to twirl down adjustments, and you'll see that there's also options to continue to do some of the different artifacts. Perhaps there was a halftone artifact from the previously printed image, noise, or JPEG compression. And we have the ability to enhance facial details. In this case, be careful as you balance this, but it's essentially using AI to try to reconstruct the faces. I find that I'll use this at a lower value generally, so that it applies a little bit of gentle structure, and it brings things back, but it doesn't completely recreate the face. Now I'll click OK, and it outputs that as a new file. So in this case here, we can see the progression. And let's zoom that into 100% and do a compare. I feel that the JPEG cleanup is really quite impressive. And with the ability to use some of the restoration, we were able to bring back quite a bit of detail that was starting to get lost. Now, the use of AI here is quite subjective, and I would encourage you to explore the neural filters for some of the options like JPEG cleanup, as well as the resize. The ability to enhance faces is something to use with a gentle hand. It will attempt to rebuild those using intelligent AI that tries to match the original as close as possible. But if you over-rely on this, you might see an artificial-like effect. But knowing what's there and the ability to try them gives you flexibility as you look to work with older files, particularly where they might be lower resolution or really strong JPEG artifacts.